Welcome back to Robscure Music. Today's video is all about my media acquisitions for the month of March. I will apologize ahead of time. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, and the weather, unfortunately, is sort of cloudy with a chance of rain, and I'm below that. Cold or something, some kind of congestion going on. Anyway, going to see if I can get through this. Once again, I've got quite a bit to show you, so I'm going to try to go through it fast. I've got some vinyl, both 12-inch and 7-inch singles, and a bunch of CDs. So let's start perhaps with the vinyl. I've got Dick Feller Wrote. If you're not familiar with Dick Feller, his songs are very much along the lines of like a Ray Stevens, sort of comical, half sung, half spoken, if you will. Songs like the credit card song, where he gets a credit card, uses it, gets the bill, can't believe how much he owes, talks to the credit card company about it, gets angry, messes up his card, sends it back. They put it through their computer, and ends up they seem to suggest, the computer suggests that he gets a refund, he gets the money back, and he's like, hey, you guys are the ones who told me that computer's always right. So here we go. We got Daisy Hill, Lord, Mr. Ford. Lots of cool songs if you're in the mood for something like that. And I was when I bought it, apparently. I also picked up a little nostalgia here. Helen Reddy, Free and Easy. I'll show you that track listing. Starts off perhaps with her creepiest song, Angie Baby. If you know it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Got Raised on Rock, Emotion, which is a beautiful song, Free and Easy. Free and Easy. Who else did that? So I'm trying to remember who covered that. Anyway, some pretty good songs on there, so I thought, yeah, I'll pick that up. Speaking of nostalgia, Johnny Rivers. And this is sort of like an anthology, if you will. It's a 2-record set, somewhat worn, but I did get it pretty cheap. It's got all the hits and then some. You've got Memphis is on here. Silver Threads and Golden Needles he does. In the Midnight Hour. Of course, you got Secret Agent Man and Stagger Lee, Hey Joe, Summer Rain, Rainy Night in Georgia. Lots of good hits on here. And it's a gatefold. Kind of, missed opportunity for the gatefold, if you ask me. Then we've got Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. And of course, there's a hype sticker for those of you who like such things. And I kind of like that too. Includes a hit single, You Don't Have to Be a Star. Then I picked up The British Invasion, Volume 2, Comp. Show you that track listing. You can pause it and take a look. Lots of good hits all day and all the night. The Kinks, I'll Keep You Satisfied, Billy J. Kramer with the Dakotas, I Like It, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Do-Wah Diddy Diddy, Manfred Mann. We've got You're My World, Cilla Black, I'm Alive, the Hollies, Tell Her No, the Zombies. And they've also got a Volume 3, British Invasion. Show you that track listing. Maybe a little hard to read, I apologize. You got Love Potion number 9, The Searchers. From a Window, Billy J. Kramer again. Willow Weep for Me, Chad and Jeremy. Sha La La, Manfred Mann. You, the Seekers. Bus Stop, the Hollies. I'm a Man, the Yardbirds, of course. I Go to Pieces, Peter and Gordon. Lots of good stuff. And I bought those to complement what I already had, Volume 1. So now I've got 3. And honestly, I don't know how many volumes there are, but I've got 3 of them now. But there was a lot of British invasion. Speaking of British, picture disc, David Bowie, Young Americans. One of my favorite, although not my favorite, David Bowie albums. I saw this, I think it was in Borders, and it was one of those like sale items, perhaps because the shrink is damaged in the back, but I got this fairly inexpensively, so I like the album. Of course, you got Young Americans on here, Fame with John Lennon, Right. What else is on here? Win. Somebody Up There Loves Me, Across the Universe. So, fantastic. Bobby Vinton, Roses Are Red, my dear. There you go, $2.99. And I got it on a Tuesday at Savers, so I saved 30% because, yes, I'm that old. So seniors get 30% on Tuesdays. So whatever that was, about $2.10. Then another Bobby Rydell. This is his biggest hits, as opposed to the smaller ones, I guess. Yes, this was a teen idol. Lots of hits before the Beatles came to town. And there's that listing of his biggest hits. And one thing I like about this is the sort of framed cover. And yes, you can pull this out, and you got another picture of Bobby there, looking really comfortable and posing for the camera. Nothing on the back, just a simple piece of cardboard that slides back in. But I kind of like the way they did this with the cover. And in fact, when I bought this, it gave me an idea for another video. So stay tuned for that. Oh, I'm having trouble getting this in there. Okay. Now, not that long ago, I was watching another YouTuber, Matt Williamson, who has a channel, which, oh my God, Pop Goes the 60s. I almost forgot the name of it. Pop Goes the 60s. So check out Matt's channel, if you will. Please subscribe. He's got a great channel, gives you a lot of great information. And he had done basically a review of, or I should say an in-depth kind of overview of The Outsiders. Time Won't Let Me, of course, being their biggest hit. And again, I had this album, but I picked up album number 2. Show you that track listing. And what I believe is album number 3, called In. So thank you, Matt, for the inspiration there. I also saw this and picked it up, a classic case of the London Symphony. A classic case. The London Symphony Orchestra plays the music of Jethro Tull featuring Ian Anderson. And I kind of remember seeing this, actually, visually seeing this performance. So when I saw this album, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me pick that up. So it's got Locomotive Breath, Thick as a Brick, Elegy, Boree, Fly By Night, Aqualung, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die, Locomotive Breath, Bungle in the Jungle, all kinds of good stuff on there. Then I was kind of getting into a summer mood and saying, hey, you know what? This might be cool to play on a hot summer day. Steel band music of the Caribbean. And it's sealed. Once again, Savers. 30% off, $2.99. A Peter Frampton album I never had before. This is The Art of Control. A lot going on with that cover. Almost as much in the back. There's the track listing. I don't think there's anything that you'd really recognize on here. Nothing I recognize, but it's Peter Frampton, so had to add that to my collection. Let's cast back way back, and here we go with nostalgia again. Whoop. The 1910 Fruit Gum Company. Yes, this was their first album from 1968. And that's what it looks like when you open it up. Anyway, try to get that track listing in there if I can. Where are those songs? There they are. Uh-oh. Okay. So we got all the goodies here. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Simon Says, May I Take a Giant Step? Bubblegum World, The Story of Flipper, Pop Goes the Weasel, Magic Windmill, Happy Little Teardrop, Soul Strutting. What can I say? Bubblegum music, but I love it. Another Stones album that I was familiar with and never actually owned, Tattoo You. And I will say in the past, I didn't really care for this album. And I listen to it now and think, why? This is a good album. And of course, you got the hype sticker there. Start Me Up is on here. You got Hang Fire. Little TNA. Good music all around here, you know? Now on to the 45s. Let's start with, we all remember Neil Sedaka, Next Door to an Angel, and I Belong to You. Okay, let's go to this one now. Tommy Rowe, Jam Up Jelly Tight, coupled with Moon Talk. Captain Kangaroo, the horse in the striped pajamas. Yeah, sometimes I just go crazy buying these things, but it looked like it was in good condition. I said, hey, you know what? Captain Kangaroo, there's a flashback. And speaking of kangaroos, Rolf Harris, tie me kangaroo down, sport. Because why not? And that's backed with the big black hat. Big black hat. It almost sounded like I said cat. And then, much more modern times, Taylor Swift, Opalite. One of her biggest hits, maybe I think her biggest selling hit, on sort of an Opalite type of clear vinyl. And if you hold it up to the light, it kind of sparkles a little bit. So, yes, I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and I'm proud of it. I don't care what you think. Now let's get on to the 45s before you start to change the channel or something, you know. Showed him before, and I'll show him again. David Bowie. Black tie, white... Wait, what does it say? Black tie, white noise. And then I've got David Bowie Heathen. I've always liked this album. I don't know why I didn't own it, but now I do. And, you know, it's kind of annoying that all the songs are kind of crossed out there. And but, hey, you can read them. So, good album. Billboard hits. These are number one hits, actually, and it's a 2-disc set. So check that out. Pause it and take a look at all those wonderful tracks on there. Some really nice, we're an American band, of course, Grand Funk. You're No Good, Linda Ronstadt. Got Boogie Fever, Stylistics, all kinds of good stuff on there. Harry Nilsson Anthology, Deluxe 2 CD set in a nice little box, once again from Savers, so 30% off. Not a bad price for that. Duran Duran, Astronaut. I will be honest, not an album I was really familiar with, but I've got quite a bit of Duran Duran, so picked it up. Billy Joel, The Hits. I have every Billy Joel album. I've got two or three compilations, at least 2. And I've got, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits Volume 1, Volume 2, but this kind of puts them all on one CD. I think I even have Billy Joel multiple CD compilations. But again, this is one CD. You can throw this in the car if your car still has a CD player, and you've got all his biggest hits right there to enjoy while you drive. Kate Bush, Lionheart. Not one of my favorite albums by Kate, but it's Kate Bush, so I just had to add that. And I believe I actually have that on vinyl, but I didn't have it on CD. Wicked. This is the new musical, Music and Lyrics by Stephen Schwartz. So this is with, Kristen Chenoweth, Idina Menzel, and all those wonderful songs that we know from Wicked. The Pointer Sisters, Greatest Hits. Oops, let me not block the track listing. Then we've got a Tower Records tribute to the Beatles. Greatest band ever. Midnight Oil. I got quite a few of their albums as well. I mentioned them before during that comp. The Stylistics. This is their best. Betcha by Golly, Wow. Break Up to Make Up. You Make Me Feel Brand New. All those wonderful hits by the Stylistics. Charlie Brown's Holiday Hits. Yes, this is Vince Guaraldi Trio. And of course, this covers lots of different songs from different types of holiday shows. You've got Joe Cool, Surfin' Snoopy, Track Meet, Camptown Races, Great Pumpkin Waltz, of course, Linus and Lucy, which is, of course, from the Christmas special. Christmas Time is Here Again. Both the vocal and instrumental. So, really cool to have that. And I almost hate to show this last one. Compilation. He got out his big 10-inch. I'm sure they're talking about the 10-inch records. I've got a couple of those. There's that track listing. Enough said about that. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay well, friends. And remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.